Hello everybody, welcome to our new masterclass. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on the time zone where you are. My name is Gloria Martinez. I am the Field and Sales Application Specialist of aASA Systems in Hamilton Thorne, and today it's for me a pleasure to introduce the new version 6.7 for SCA Evolution and SCA SCOPE systems. First of all, to give you an overview of what is really a aASA system, or maybe for those of you that are new, a aASA system is a software or a computer that will serve as a tool for the semen assessment. So this means that in front of having a person that is in front of the microscope doing the motility, count, and morphology of a sperm sample, we will use a computer and a software that will do the classification for us, and then they will also inform us about the results and give us a report. If we take a look at the gold standard, the general guidelines that all laboratories analyzing sperm samples should follow, which is a WHO manual, and the last edition that we have is from 2021, the 6th edition, we can look here and the aASA system appear in the chapter 4 of this manual. I also wanted to speak about the 4 aASA systems that we as Hamilton Thorne have, because if you take a look at the one that are in the right part of the screen, the IVOS and the zeros, these two were the really original ones created by Hamilton Thorne, developed by them, and worldwide there are a lot of systems installed in laboratories for human and animal sites that are using the systems in daily routine. And on the left we have SCA SCOPE and SCA Evolution, that are the 2 aASA systems that were originally created by Microptic. And now we have all of them inside Hamilton Thorne company. So today we are mainly focusing on the SCA SCOPE and the SCA Evolution to introduce to you the new version. I would also like to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about our work as a company that has been always working in the IVF field for more than 30 years. So the first thing that we like to work in is providing the embryologist and the andrologist with the best solutions for sperm analysis. So this means that we are in charge of creating these softwares and these devices that will be used as a tool for the people in the lab or in a hospital to give the tools for this sperm assessment. And always the goal is to give to the patient the best diagnostic possible. Secondly, we also make a lot of emphasis in listening users' comments, recommendations, and requests. This is one of our main features. We think that we not only install the system in a lab and then we don't make any more contact with people working there, because at the end of the day are the embryologists, the andrologists, and the lab technicians that are using the aASA systems on daily basis, the ones that are more expert, that know the limitations, that enjoy the advantages of these systems. So any feedback that you all can send to us, it's very interesting for us to keep improving. So we really encourage you to keep doing the same. And this is one of the reasons why we keep developing new versions of the software, because of the requests of the users. In addition, we apply artificial intelligence to our systems. We can see different techniques that are applied on the systems. For example, computer vision for some modules such as motility and concentration, or DNA fragmentation. Then also machine learning is used in vitality or leukocytes analysis, or deep learning will be also another technique that is also used. And last but not least, we also provide training and education concerning sperm assessment. So this is one of the points also that I wanted to emphasize. We also have trainings face-to-face or online, not only about automatic system, but also of sperm analysis in general. So which are the reasons why we develop new versions, or what is our main goal with this? In this case, this software is periodically updated, more or less each year or every 2 years. of course, to be compatible with the latest operating system. So it's true that since some years ago, for example, Windows 7 is no longer compatible with our software versions, because we always try to use the latest technology. This would be one example. Then also to improve the analysis our algorithms, we always try to improve the detection of the softwares, and then of course we need to be updated about this topic. So we apply, as I said, artificial intelligence to try always to improve the algorithms. Then, of course, to adapt it to the gold standard, the guidelines, which, as I indicated, it's the WHO manual. So every time, more or less every 10 years, a new version of this manual is published. And in this case, we always adapt the reference values and all the new features and the new tests introduced into our system. Of course, we always try to include the ultimate hardware technology. This is important not to leave some of the components obsolete. Of course, to incorporate new features. As I said, the requests and feedback from our users is crucial in this step. And finally, for bugs fixing, we always try to make software that is more user-friendly and more robust. So in summary, which are the features of this new version 6.7? Well, we are going to find new options in the SCA interface. It will be possible to have access to our website and also to have more access to the settings. For example, now they are all together in one option of the system, so it will be easier to manage in general by the administrator. Also, in terms of reports, we are going to find software that is more flexible with more options to the users. You know that for the moment, all the modifications in the reports is more as Hamilton Thorne team that we have always been customizing the reports and then sending them to the users. So now you as a users will also have more flexibility in this sense. Then also you will see an improvement in the detection of round cells. I will show you some examples and other improvements that we will also indicate. So let's start. The first new feature of the SCA software would be that it's possible to get access to our website directly from the SCA interface. And just to show you a little bit which are the interesting tools in the website, remember that you have free masterclasses as the one that you are watching now about different topics, disposables, animal field, also, well, other kinds of topics, microscopy, etc. Then scientific publications. We publish in our website all the publications that include our systems so that users can have references and maybe take a look at the methodology or the results, etc. In addition, there are the protocols of all the kits that are to be used with the system, the catalogs, news, blog also, etc. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to show you that apart from the aASA website, there is also the Hamilton Thorne website with even more resources that you can check. So what about the round cell detector? As I was saying, this tool, this part of the software has been improved using deep learning, an algorithm that has been developed. So just to put you in context, round cells is a feature that SCA systems can detect, and it's during the motility and concentration analysis that we can also obtain the concentration of round cells in million per milliliter, as you can see on the screen. And in the 6.7 version, this detector has been improved thanks to artificial intelligence, and now, as you can see on the screen, all the round cells, no matter if they are black, they are white or gray, they will be detected. And the way that system is showing them is with this blue circle that we can enable in the analysis window. And like this, we will have much more accurate results for round cells. That, as you know, WHO recommends that if we find a concentration of round cells higher than 1 million per milliliter, it's suggested to perform the leukocytes test in order to discover if the patient has an infection or if the test is negative. In addition, there is an automatic illumination adjustment to capture with optimal light intensity. Okay, what does this mean? As you know, in the SCA evolution system, which is the one composed by the microscope, the camera, and the computer, in this case, it's the lab technician or the embryologist that need to adjust the focus and the light from the microscope and then capture the images. So the only limitation that this can lead to is if the people have different training or different skills with the microscope, this can generate inter-technician variability. So maybe some images have more contrast than others. And in the same analysis, we can also find some variability. But now it's possible to check this box auto-illumination, and so all the fields that we capture, all the videos for motility and concentration, will have the same light intensity. Let me just show you some examples from here. So now in the SCA software we have our sample, and then you can see that I can decrease or increase the light. But if I check this auto illumination option, now no matter if I increase or I decrease the light intensity of the microscope, that the level of light will be always the same. So this will really help during the capture of images and will provide more homogeneity on the analysis. In addition, it's possible to fix camera parameters by configuration. This means that if we, for example, have different configurations such as fresh sample or a sample that we are going to analyze with fluorescence or frozen, etc., now in the camera tab, it's possible to set different camera parameters and then save them, and they will be directly linked to the configuration that we are using. What about the settings? As I said, the settings part is some of the big changes of this new version, because now at the moment they are all available from the settings inside administration menu. So now we are going to take a look at it. I will just close this analysis and we are going to find it. So as I said, we are going to enter to this administration menu and the settings. And from here, you can really see how the window has changed. Now it includes many more options. So starting from the first parameters, general, from here we will be able to manage different options concerning the interface of the software and the system. Then we have all the settings regarding the analysis. Now we will also explain the new feature about the preparations. Okay, but you also can check the diagnostic, which version of the WHO is being used, where the sessions are being saved. Also some parameters regarding the patient. For example, if the clinical history number is generated automatically, or about the last name, etc. Data share will be used to connect the database of our system with other systems, or to put the database on a server or connect it to the laboratory information system. Here also we can manage the password of the users in case we want it to expire after a given period of time, or if we want to enforce some requirements for it. We can also find the sample settings. So, for example, if we want to enable validation, or if we want to make some modifications to the reference of the sample, we can also do it from here. In addition, it will be possible to manage all the hardware that are connected, such as the label printer or precision balance or motorized stage, from this same interface. At the same time, the backups are always managed from here. And finally, the part of reports that now we are also going to explain. So, what about the new preparations? As you know, the SCA systems are ready to be used not only with fresh samples, but also with treated samples after density gradients or swim up, but also frozen samples, etc. Depending on the country and depending on the protocols of the laboratory, there may exist different preparations, different kind of samples that the people in the lab will be interested in analyzing. And before we only had, by default, we only have fresh and post. And if more preparations were to be created, this was us, the ones that needed to do it. So now the user, they can prepare it, but they can change it by themselves. And this is done since we need to click here. We are going to go to here, analysis and general. And here we find the tabs for preparation. So by default we only have fresh and post preparations, but I created 2 more. So basically, in order to add a new preparation, we only need to go here, add a new preparation, write, for example, post 24 hours, and indicate if the preparation is fresh or not. And it will be automatically appearing here in the list. Okay, what we can do with these new preparations, then, as you know, it's possible to make them appear in the reports. For the moment, this is something that we still need to do. So when you create your preparations, please, you can write to the technical support team, and then it will be very easy for us to customize the report, and we would obtain a report like the following one, the one that you can see on the screen. In this case, we have fresh, post, fresh 3 hours, and post 24 hours. So this is a great way to have in your report all the information all together. So in addition, when we go here to the SCA core, so I will just close this, and every time that we close here, all the settings are saved in the system. From the same SCA interface, we can also select which are the results, to which preparation we want to see the results. Okay, so now you can see the difference, and it will also be possible to manually introduce the results for no matter which preparation. For example, if for the post we want to do some tests manually, like the vitality or the morphology or just the concentration, and afterwards we want to write our concentration, our result, we can do it, and it will be saved. Or if not, we can just click on save, and it will be automatically introduced in the system. Concerning the reports, now there is a shared repository, and this means that we find a more user-friendly window that will enable us to manage all the reports, not only local but also global. What this global means? This means that if, according to our lab structure, instead of only one system, we have a main system connected to a capture or an editor or an SCA evolution connected to an SCA SCOPE, in this case, all the report will be changed at the same time in all the devices. And before, we needed to go computer by computer and change it from the database. But now this repository is shared. Okay, so basically we have access to this, as I said, going to administration, settings, and the last option is reports. By the way, in the reports, on the one hand, we can change the header and the footer according to the one that you use in your laboratory. But if we go here to the details, you will find this chart with all the reports. Here there are all the types of reports that are available from SCA. And then choose if you want to load a local one or a global one to appear in all the systems at the same time, and if not, otherwise the system will just use the default one. Now that I am here in this section, I take advantage to also explain you that now it's possible to choose which are the sections that we want to keep, and if we want to remove some of the sections of the report, it will also be possible. For instance, if we click here on the edit part of the report, here you can see that WHO5, for example, is not enabled. By default is enabled, so I will just click it and I will show you how the report looks like. I will just select my sample. And as you can see here, among all the information that is available on the report, we have the section for WHO 5th edition and also 6th edition. We have both at the same time. But maybe some people are just interested in WHO 6th edition. So this is why we are going to modify this feature. We are going to uncheck this box. And now, if we open our report, you will see that now WHO 5th edition has indeed disappeared. So this means that you can play with the sections and just leave the ones that you are interested in. At the same time, if there are some other modifications that you would like to do, please contact our technical support department and they will help you. Changing a little bit the subject, now is also possible to modify the Silverberg effect. So for those that don't know really what this is an effect that explains how the fluids are behaving in this case in different counting chambers. For example, when we use the Mackler counting chamber or the disposable counting chamber. So this is why now we have introduced this option that you see here in the settings of motility and concentration. And when we check this box, it will appear here the number, and we can modify it depending on the counting chamber that we use. And just to let you know that our masterclass number 16, in this masterclass we only gave more information about this topic. So if you are interested in knowing more information, please go and check it. And then moving on to the other improvements, the last ones. On the one hand, we have the new compatibility with our systems and the Brady printers for QR barcode print. So this means that now with for the laboratories that are freezing the samples, for example, and they need to use this kind of printers for having specific labels that are resistant to liquid nitrogen, for example, now they can also scan this QR with the system, and then the value, the reference of the sample will be automatically transferred to the interface. Okay. Secondly, we find more support for the database encryption. So this means that now all the data, the patients, etc., are even more encrypted than before. So this represents an increase of security, and of course more to have a software that we can rely on when using it in the lab. And finally, we added a new language to our list. Now we have 20 in total, and this new language is Romanian. So now the reports in Romanian and the interface are available. So if you find that your language is not in the list of our available languages, please contact us and we will make our best efforts to include it in the software. So moving on to the requirements for this 6.7 version, it's important that you all know that the system, your SCA license, needs to be under maintenance. So this is something that it's renewed every year, or it can be renewed every 3 or 5 years, this depends. So all the users that are under maintenance will be able to download this new version and install it without any other extra charge, etc. And in terms of the hardware, the computer needs to have an operating system of Windows 10 or 11 64 bits. And as I said before, Windows 7 is not compatible, okay, because it's obsolete. And concerning the processor and the RAM memory, we need at least an Intel Core i5 or superior and 8 GB for the RAM memory or higher. And finally, concerning the camera, FireWire cameras are no longer supported, so only Giga Ethernet or USB 3.0 cameras would be compatible with this version. So please, before updating the system, please make sure that you have the compatible hardware. If not, you can also contact us, because if not, the performance of the version is not guaranteed. And of course, if you are not sure if your system is under maintenance or you want more information concerning this topic, please contact us, both our team of sales or support, and we will be glad to help you. And finally, the most important question: how can I download the new version, or when it will be officially available? So just to explain you, until now it has already been installed in some labs that they are trying it. We have a stable version, but we haven't installed it to everyone, just to specific labs that maybe they have only one system working and they are informing us about the performance, they are giving us feedback. So soon, very soon, we will have the official email. You will all receive an email with the official link to download the version, and you will be able to download it by yourself, or you will be able to connect to us, and then we will help you to do it. So until here our presentation. Thank you everyone for your attention, and if you have any questions or you want further information about the topic, please don't hesitate to ask. You have a chat box in the meeting, so I will be happy to answer. Thank you.